Hello, today's top tip, wedding photography top tips or wedding planning top tips number quite a lot. I can't remember, 6 or 7 I think now. Um, Very important time in your wedding day when, if you imagine you've actually done all of the ceremony, you've said your vows, the nerves have all dissipated, you've had your meal, you've done the speeches, and you're in that sort of lovely sort of time where everything's just gone and it's happened and it's done. Um, your evening guests arrive, and then there's a natural lull. There's a lull in time between the sort of the clearing up of the food and then the evening starting. Essentially, it generally starts with the first dance or with a cake cutting. Okay, my top tip for today is that you need somebody, not you, if you're the bride or the groom, you need somebody, a best man, or an usher or a chief bridesmaid or a parent to keep an eye on the time. You will not have a clue what the time is at that point in the day. Um, and it's a really good idea to have somebody responsible for actually starting the evening proceedings. Now, if you have a caterer, they may do that. If you're at a hotel, maybe you'll have a master of ceremonies who would do that. I have been at lots and lots of weddings, though, where there's been a sort of dead hour or so where the DJ's ready to do, or the band's ready to play, the cake's ready to be cut, all your evening guests have arrived, and you as the couple are floating around having a wonderful time, but things need to move on, and you may be an hour, I've been at that stage where it's been an hour or an hour and a half late, purely because nobody's taken responsibility for actually moving the day on. That sounds a little bit, what's the word? I don't know. A little bit regimented, doesn't it? But I think you do need somebody who actually is responsible at that point of the day for keeping an eye on the time, and saying, look, actually, right, okay, here goes the band. From my experience also, not all bands, not all DJs, but a number of them will not necessarily sort of push you to start. In a way, if they're set up and ready, the later they start, the less they have to play, which is an issue. Purely from my point of view, the later you start, the more I'm sort of spending time waiting around, because to a certain extent, at that time of the day, I am purely waiting for the first dance and the cake cutting really. So that's today's top tip. Have somebody to keep an eye on the time during your wedding reception. Get the dancing started, get that cake cutting, and get that party rolling. Thank you.